can watch the clock all you want, but it won't go any faster. You're Barry Allen, right? Henry Allen's kid? I'm
Axel Walker. You and your dad kidnapped my dad once.
Yeah, right. Pudding? Lunch lady gave me extra. I think she has a crush on me. Hey, word on the block is you carved up some professor. He give you a bad grade or something?
I didn't kill anybody.
Yeah, sure. Everyone's innocent in here. Especially that guy. Yeah, Big Sir. He's really innocent. This is grosser than usual. Does pudding go bad?
Axel, what do you want from me?
To be murder buds. You know, we could share trade secrets. I'd love to hear how you carved up that college quack.
I don't need any friends in here. Okay?
Man, I do not feel good. Oh.
Get him up. You got mud on my bright lights.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Sorry's right.
First week in Iron Heights is often the hardest, Mr. Allen. You've already seen what happens when a few inmates try to revolt. Acclimating to your new life will take time. Always does. In the meantime, do your best to stay clean in here. Oh, Mr. Allen, your 130 is waiting for you.
What I really need, guys, is a new superhero name. Ramon, you've had all this time, you can't come up with anything?
Patience, okay? I'm getting to you. I've just been a little preoccupied, what with Barry being in prison and all.
Episode 411, The Elongated Night Rises. This is now that Barry is spending his time in jail in Iron Heights. Part of the focus of being the hero for Central City falls on
your friendly neighborhood superhero.
Oh my God.
Dibney is indestructible.
This all sort of comes to a head when Axel Walker is broken out of prison by none other than his mother, Prank.
Come on, Axel.
Mom?
Prank, diehard fans remember, played by Corinne Bauer from the 90s television show Flash.
Behind every great trick is an even better prank.
Hey everybody, we got new Flash tonight, a big deep cut from the classic Flash TV series, and some crazy Iris West Speedster stuff happening later this season. So let's break it down. I'll start with this episode, then at the end of the video I'll talk about Iris West Speedster goings on, because there might be some shenanigans going on, like she might not actually become a speedster, there might be some big twist behind it. Obviously, the tip-off of the episode, The Elongated Night Rises, is the Elongated Knight maybe getting his comic book name, his comic book costume, with a big Dark Knight Easter egg. But the really cool thing here is that they brought Prank back from the classic 90s TV series. If you remember, she was sort of the assistant, like Mark Hamill talks about it in a really funny way. At the time, she was just this normal person that Stockholm Syndrome started to become the Harley Quinn to Mark Hamill's Trickster. This was way before he ever became the Joker, so his Trickster on the 90s Flash TV series was sort of a proto version of what his animated series Joker became. He went on to become the Joker after the Flash TV series was canceled. Like, they were actually getting ready for a big rogue team up, but the TV series got canceled, so he went on to other jobs.
No substitutes, ladies and gentlemen. I am the genuine article. You know, I've been reading lately how old Guano Man is wound tight enough to snap.
You could see a little bit of the Joker behind that classic performance, but they are two distinct characters. But in the way that Dr. Harleen Quinzel, Stockholm Syndrome, joined the Joker, became Harley Quinn, they actually did it a couple years earlier than that with Prank in the Trickster. So it becomes this really meta thing, and then obviously Prank's character is very different from what Arlene Sorkin did with the Harley Quinn character. So obviously they're all very different people, but you can kind of see the moves that they were making at the time, because Harley Quinn was actually a character that debuted on the TV series before she debuted in the comics. But Mark Hamill said way back, the whole idea is that eventually they got together, she had a child, that child became the Axel Walker Trickster.
No one gets you but me. I've spent my entire life looking for bigger and bigger kicks. Aren't you glad to see your little sidekick, Frank?
The real reason I tracked you down and groomed you to be the best you could possibly be, Axel. I am your father.
So when Jeff Johns was writing the comic book arc that the Flash TV show is doing right now, the Thinker arc, Axel was not related to the Jesse James trickster. He just stole all of his stuff and tried to take his name. And then eventually they fought each other. Jesse James took his name back. Then eventually he went away and Axel became the main version of the trickster. And for the most part, within the Rogues, he's kind of a punching bag character. Right now, if you haven't been reading the comics, they're doing an Iron Heights run. They brought Godspeed back. The stuff that's been happening to him is so hardcore that I would probably get demonetized if I tried to explain it. Let's just say if you're not like a really big dude and you're a rogue and you get thrown in prison, it's not going to be very easy for you. Which is, brings us to the Flash TV show. Barry in prison. We also found out who Goldberg's character is playing, so it'll be interesting to see because it looks like he's getting stabbed during the trailer, so it just looks like he goes through the typical prison experience. It just has to figure out how to deal with it without using his powers. Like they say, no prison can hold you. There's even scenes with Ralph Dibny visiting him in prison. Maybe Cisco ports him in or he goes in the legit way to visit him because it looks like he's wearing his elongated man costume, so it's not like he would walk through the front door with that. He has to engineer a scenario where the Thinker is caught red-handed with his wife so that they can just walk around in broad daylight like they used to. Otherwise, they'd be on the run for the rest of his life. But it does sound like he's going to be in prison for the next couple of episodes, so they'll be doing their version of Shawshank. It'll be interesting to see what the inside of Iron Heights looks like, because you look in the background of some of these shots, and it's just nuts. There's just like a riot every 5 minutes. But we did find out, speaking of Prison Break, make all the Prison Break jokes that you want. We did learn that they're doing the big Rogues team up, the Blacksmith Engineers, during the Jeff Johns Thinker arc. It actually starts with a big rogue team up that they opted not to do when they first introduced the Blacksmith character on the TV show. We don't know how close they're sticking to the comic book storyline, but we do know they're doing a version of the network, which is really just like a black market network that Blacksmith sets up, and the other rogues are her underlings. So they're bringing Weather Wizard back, pretty much all the big rogues that aren't tied up on other TV shows or haven't gone away. Like Captain Cold seems like he's off limits for now. Like Wentworth Miller seemed like he was riding off into the sunset, so who knows when he comes back. Heatwave is on Legends, so I'm guessing he's not going to pop up. And speaking of Legends, even though it's not coming back to the second week in February for that 2-part Constantine episode, Kenyon Lonsdale was thanking everybody on Twitter like, if you really care about Wally West's journey, it sounds like he and the producers agreed that Wally West's character just wasn't getting the time that he needed for a genuine arc. And with Firestorm leaving, the spot opened up, so they're like, okay, that just seems like a no-brainer. We'll send him to Legends. They didn't say anything about what he would be doing aside from just being the Wally West version of the Flash. So there've been a lot of theories about how they're going to incorporate his powers with the rest of the team. Because like we've said before, he's the new most powerful member of the team. And I don't think that he's going to be around for the Legends finale. I think he comes back to the Flash for the Flash finale before that happens. In schedule update, when Legends comes back in the middle of February, episode 10 and 11 will be those 2 Constantine episodes. Wally doesn't appear till maybe like the very end of episode 12, but really episode 13, they said, is the first Wally episode. Then he does his run, then comes back to the Flash. So make as many Speedster puns as you want. The Iris West Speedster twist could just be her dressed in a costume, but it looks like a slightly different version of the Jesse Quick costume, which itself was a version of the Trajectory costume, so they could just be repurposing a version of that. She could be from an alternate Earth, or because we know Cecile is getting powers from her pregnancy, this could be the tip-off for we're going to need more diapers. So I'll do a separate video about why Iris West might get powers later this season. But just remember that there are a number of reasons why she might be dressed up in a Speedster costume. But there is a new round of that Flash Ring giveaway. All you have to do to enter is just be a subscriber, share the video using those YouTube tools on the watch page below. My episode video will post after it airs tonight. There is new Deadpool that I'll try to post before Flash starts tonight. And for those of you asking, yes, I will do a Black Lightning episode 2 video. That'll post Wednesday morning. So while you wait for everything, click here for more new Flash, and click here for all that new Black Panther footage. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.